So we're going to take a look at that general solution, and now we have a look at the unit circle with it. So if we take we're going to find the general solutions of cosine x equal to square root of 2 over 2. So let's do that. So we're going to do this one, and we're going to write the general solutions for it. Where is cosine x equal to square root of 2 over 2? On the unit circle, where do we find those values? At pi over 4, because here they are. At pi over 4, is that the only spot?
And 7 pi over 4.
And 7 pi over 4. Okay? So those are the two angles that are within that period of 2 pi. So now we're going to take those two and we're going to write a general solution. So let's do that. So I'm going to have my pi over 4 plus what? 2 pi k. And we're going to have the 7 pi over 4 plus what?
2 pi k.
2 pi k. So this would be our general solution to our initial equation here. Okay? Questions on that? All right, I want you to do this one. Write and find the general solutions for sine of x equal to negative 1/2. Okay, we know that sine is negative in our third and fourth quadrant down here because that's where your y values are negative. So you find the angle. So what was the angle over here in quadrant 3? So we would do 7 pi over 6 plus what? 2 pi k. And what was the one over here in our fourth quadrant? 11 pi over 6. Doesn't matter really. I'm going to rewrite down here. 11 pi over 6 plus what? 2 pi k. Maybe. There we go. 2 pi k. Okay. Yes, Adrian. No. It's 7 pi. Okay, so we're going to start over here with the 4x plus 9 equal to 11. If you want to solve that one for x, what would your first step be? You would subtract 9. And that would give you a 4x equal to a 2. We would do the same process over here. We would subtract the 9 on both sides. And that would give us 4 cosine x equals 2. Split these up. All right, let's go back to the 4x equal to 2. What would be your next step? Divide by 4. And that would give you x equals 2/4, or reducing down, x would equal 1/2. Okay, now let's go back to our cosine. We need to get that cosine x by itself, so what would be our next step? Well, it would be the same process. We would divide by 4. We would get cosine x equal to 2/4 or 1/2. Okay, so let's go back to our directions. Our directions said that we are going to solve our 4 cosine x plus 9 over the interval of 0 over 2 pi. Okay? So once we find, in this case, once we find our two angles in that 0 to 2 pi, we will be done. We don't have to do plus our 2 pi k because they're saying specifically we're only going to grab those. Okay, so where is cosine equal to a half? All right, and there's your answer. So if they state that they want it over a specific interval between that 0 and 2 pi, then we will only list those and we don't have to do a general solution. So sometimes you'll do the general solution, sometimes not, depending on what they ask you to do. All right, x squared plus x equals 0, that looks like a quadratic. What would be the first thing we would need to do? What? No, we've already got that 0 over there. So he's good. What would we need to do? X squared plus x. What would we factor? Yes. Do we have a greatest common factor? Yes, we do. What do they have in common that we can take out? X. So we would take out the x. So x squared divided by x, that would leave us with x. And plus x divided by x, 1. Okay. And then we could apply our zero product property, right? We could split them on up. Either the x is equal to 0 or the x plus 1 is equal to 0. So in this case, we would have -1. So we would have 0 and -1. All right. Let's apply this to our trig equation. You have a sine squared x plus sine x equals 0. So this is also a quadratic. So what would we do first here? Yes, they both have a sine, and we could factor that out. So we're going to do that. So I'm going to take out a sine x. That would leave me with, from that sine squared x, I still have one of them left, right? So I would put that back in. And plus, sine x divided by sine x would give me a 1. To 0. Now we're going to apply that zero product property. Let's split this thing up. So I'm going to have sine x equal to 0, and I'm going to have the sine x plus 1 equal to 0.
Is it just the sine squared?
On your unit circle, where does sine have a value of 0?
0.
At 0. Anywhere else? Is there anywhere else on the unit circle? At pi. So at 0 and pi. And this one also is, we are going to find over the interval of 0 to pi. So we are done with that one. Okay, what about the sine x plus 1 equal to 0? What do we need to do to that one? Yeah, so we're going to subtract the 1. So that would leave us with sine x equals -1. So your sine x is now isolated. So where does your sine equal -1? 3 pi over 2. Okay, so come down here. Our solutions are x equals 0, x equals pi, and x equals 3 pi over 2. And there's your answer. Put your two binomials in. Right? Okay, let's kind of think about our x method over here. Think about our x method. I have an a and a c. I'm just going to look at the numbers. Let's look at the numbers. If I have that 2 times that -1, I would get a what? -2. And my b, what's in front of the cosine? 1. So how could I get back that -2? Positive. Yeah, okay, yes, very good. We would have a +2 and a -1. So that's kind of what we're working with. This is a little different, but okay, so let's come back over here. So, yeah, actually, yeah, let's do that. Okay, so let's move these back over. Okay, so I'm going to do I'm going to bring the cosine back in. Okay, so I'm going to do this one here. So the 2, your denominator of 2 is going to come back over here. So we're going to do 2 cosine x minus the 1. So that's this one over here. And then over here will just be the cosine x. And then this one, remember, was just plus 1, or plus 1 equals 0. All right, so let's split them on up. So we have 2 cosine x minus 1 equals 0, or the cosine x plus 1 equals 0. Let's take that 2 cosine x minus 1. We're going to move that 1 over, which would become a positive 1, and then divide out the 2, right? So all of this would be cosine x equals positive 1/2. And over here, and then over here, we're going to move that 1 over as a negative 1, so this would be cosine x equal to negative 1. All right, let's go to our, we've already done cosine 1/2, haven't we? What was that? Pi over 3, and what was the other one? 5 pi over? Yeah. How about where is cosine equal to the negative 1? Pi. Yeah. Okay. So there's your answers to that one.